Trent, Van Dijk and Salah. Who's going to be at Anfield next season? The three players are all out of contract in the summer of 2025. How have Liverpool got to this, quite frankly, mess of negotiations with these three players and let their contracts run down? We're going to break it down. We're going to talk replacements. We're going to talk about the likelihood of those players staying. Welcome to the Gianni Battici YouTube channel. Hope you guys are good. We're doing things a little bit differently today. Usually it's FPL content, not today. This is Liverpool and this is football content on this channel. If you're enjoying the show, do hit those buttons, like and subscribe. So look, without further ado, let me just explain the situation, right? We've got footballers in general, their contracts. As the contract ticks on, the player gets more and more in control. So at the start of a contract, the club is in control. Midway through, you get into the tipping point, and then the final sort of 18 months, 12 months of a player's contract, straight away the player is in control. They're thinking, I can now start to wind down my contract. And what happens if I wind down my contract? Well, if I join a new club on a free transfer, I'm getting way higher wages and I may even be getting a signing on fee. Tick, tick. Salah's done it, Trent's done it, and Van Dijk's done it. They're all now in control. Liverpool are not. So let's discuss it one by one, shall we? Trent Alexander-Arnold feels like the perhaps the most obvious of the three to depart in the summer of 2025. Now, he's the youngest of the three. He has the highest sale value. He is arguably the one Liverpool would look at and go, we've really been silly here. We've lost out. How have we let it go this long? And it's Real Madrid who are, of course, his suitors. Real Madrid have the highest pull in world football, make no doubt about it. There are very few teams Trent is going to leave for. Real Madrid is probably the only one he does, right? And they happen to want him. He is very Real Madrid. He is a Galacticos in the making, quite frankly. So how do we see that move going? Well, Liverpool could sell him in January. I don't see that happening, right? You get a little bit of money from 20 million. What's the point? He's going to stay at Liverpool to the end of the season. Of course he is. He's probably going to win the league. He could win the Champions League. What a way to go out, right? If that happens, he then signs for Real Madrid. He gets a fat chunk of money, just like Mbappe did. Mbappe left for free. He got a signing on fee. And then you get incredible wages because Real Madrid haven't spent a transfer fee on you. It's win-win for Trent. It's win-win for Real Madrid. They get what they see as probably the world's best right back. It's not win-win for Liverpool. It's quite frankly a huge F up for Liverpool to allow the kid that's been playing for them since he was 7, the local lad, done good. Now, fans will be disgruntled. He's given everything to Liverpool. He has won a ton at Liverpool. And when Real Madrid come calling, Liverpool should know you can't keep a player. You can't keep, like any other team comes calling, you're probably good. But we know, history tells us with the Premier League, when Real Madrid wanted Ronaldo, they got Ronaldo. When Real Madrid wanted Kaká from Italy, Serie A lost their best player. We see it all the time. They have the pulling power, right? So I think Trent's going to leave, and it makes complete sense. Now, where does that leave Liverpool? Well, I don't know. I mean, there are replacements we'll talk about in a sec, but we have to remember we've seen Trent doing this celebration not that long ago. Well, that doesn't mean he's staying. Jude Bellingham did this celebration at Dortmund and then signed for Real Madrid 6 months later. Yes, he doesn't like all the noise. It doesn't mean he's staying at Liverpool. I think he'll be gone. And his relationship with Bellingham is really interesting because they are bezzers. Like, they are complete best mates. And moving overseas for a local lad like Trent probably is quite daunting. New language, new city, new country, right? If your best mate's already there, it makes the move way easier. Straight away, I've got a mate in the dressing room. I can talk English with him, blah, blah, blah. He can welcome me and warm me up to the city. So Bellingham being in Real Madrid helps. The fact they're best mates absolutely helps. Obviously, they've played together a lot for England. Now, where does it leave Liverpool? They happen to have a very good right back in the shape of Connor Bradley. He plays a similar style to Trent. He hasn't got the passing range of the quarterback passing like Trent, but he's attacking and he offers goal threat. He's not afraid to shoot. We've seen him play for his country as a wing back or even as a winger at times. He's very exciting down that right-hand side. He doesn't have that same set-piece delivery and long-range passing of Trent, but he's neat and tidy. He's steady defensively. Some might argue he's as good as Trent defensively, and he offers some goal and assist threat. He's got pace to burn. So Connor Bradley, And the fact Joe Gomez is at the club for tougher games, or when you want to play a bit of a slow and steady right back against stronger opposition, between Gomez and Bradley, you could argue Trent's covered. Like, you're not going to easily replace Trent by spending 30, 40 million anyway. You could argue Liverpool could cope with this loss. They'd have to adapt the way they play, of course. But no Trent. The fact Bradley is there ready and waiting maybe softens the blow a bit. Are there right backs out there that Liverpool will go shopping for? I'm not sure they do. But if they lose Van Dijk and if they lose Mo Salah, then they're absolutely going shopping, aren't they? You can't lose Mo Salah and not replace or try and replace him. Liverpool do not have a player in their squad that can replace Mo Salah. So what about his contract situation? Well, Salah's much older than Trent. You look at him and think, yeah, no, he's into his 30s. He is holding out for a 2-year deal. Make no doubt about it. Salah wants to stay in Liverpool. He doesn't think he's ready to go to Saudi. Like, he's going to end up there, sure, but he doesn't need to go there just yet. Mo Salah at Liverpool still feels like a very good fit. He is playing arguably the football of his career. Goals and assists, incredible so far this season. He's having his best season to date at Liverpool, right? You can't let him go. And maybe the new contract situation's helping that form. He is holding out for a bigger and better deal every time, and no doubt a longer deal. Give him 2 years, give him 400k a week. Makes sense that he'll stay. I look at Trent and I go, he's gone in the summer. I can't see a world in which Trent stays, actually. If Real Madrid want him, Real Madrid will get him. When I look at Salah, yes, there's clubs that want him, but he is also ambitious. He wants to win Premier League titles and he wants to win Champions Leagues, and he knows he can do that at Real Madrid. He ain't going to win huge trophies at PSG. He'll win, league title. Meh. He ain't going to win the Champions League with PSG. He's not going to win anything of significance in terms of like global top tier trophies at any Saudi club. And he knows he can have that Saudi big paycheck later in his career anyway. He doesn't need to be putting up these goals and assists to get a big money move at Saudi. When he slows down in 2 years' time and he's still scoring good amount of goals and assists in the Premier League, he'll still get big offers from Saudi. We can't forget, Salah is a Muslim, right? Going to Saudi is probably way more attractive to Salah than many other players, right? You look at players like Kante, players like Benzema. For the lifestyle they want to live, Saudi as a Muslim country probably is a really attractive proposition, as well as the obvious, the money. Mo Salah, in terms of a lifestyle fit, I've no doubt will be quite excited about a move to Saudi. He ain't going to be excited about the football there. And he knows he can get the football there later in his career. So will Liverpool offer him a 2-year deal on huge money? I absolutely think they will, and I think they have to. And losing Trent probably helps them do that, right? Because Trent's on big money himself. Not quite the same. Now, if Salah does go, they have to replace him. Federico Chiesa is not going to come in and do that job. And actually, they bought Chiesa as a little bit of a trial. Like, is he someone long-term that can play on the right-hand side? They never say it. I'm not saying they thought Chiesa was going to come in and replace Salah like for like. Of course, no one's saying Chiesa's of that caliber. But could he come in and contribute on the right-hand side? I think Chiesa's not the same player as he was 3-4 years ago. And I think so far at Liverpool with his injury problems, we're just not going to see that Chiesa for a long time. So they'll go shopping if Salah goes. And if they're going shopping, where do they go? Well, I saw this on Give Me Sport. This was written a few months ago. But these names are still of huge, huge relevance to Liverpool. Bryan Mbeumo feels like the most obvious because he's done it in the Premier League and he plays a very similar game to Mo Salah. He plays high and wide on that right-hand side. He's of a good age and he's been talismanic for Brentford. He also even takes penalties just like Mo Salah. He ticks a lot of boxes. Rafinha would be another obvious fit. I don't quite love the Sane shout or the Kvaratskhelia shout, who both are players that I think are better on the left-hand side. Adeyemi the same. Bakayoko's been mentioned, and Jared Bowen, who I think you'd struggle to get Bowen away from West Ham. I think in terms of the price you'd have to pay, the accessibility of that player, the profile of that player, and the age of that player, Bryan Mbeumo ticks a ton of boxes. Now, he's not going to replace like for like. Of course, he's not. No one can. Mo Salah is one of the top 3 players in world football at the minute, in my opinion. Therefore, you can't go and replace him. But And Burmo's a good option. He's a good option. Regardless of Mo Salah staying, there's an argument to say you should go after an Mbeumo, knowing Mo Salah's not going to be around forever. So I'm saying I think Trent goes. Salah probably stays if Liverpool are wise to it, and they have to be with seeing the football he's played of late. And Van Dijk's another really, really interesting case because Van Dijk's not getting any younger. Remember, Salah to Saudi is going to happen at some point. But when? Well, that's the $1 million question. And I don't see that happening in 2025. Not yet. Now, Van Dijk is 33. He'll be 34 this summer. Centre-backs, though, you could argue centre-backs of that age. You look at the likes of Chiellini and Bonucci. 34, they were still winning. They were still winning the Euros like after those years. I think Van Dijk, again, looking at his skill set, is someone that will play at the top level for a good number of years. And again, Liverpool should consider that 2-year deal. And that's the big thing here. Salah and Van Dijk, they'll be looking at it going, 1-year extensions aren't enough. I need a 2-year deal as a minimum. And even at the age of 34 years old, which Van Dijk will be this summer, he's going to be asking for that 2-year deal. I would absolutely do it. He is the captain. He is the leader. They're short at centre-back without Van Dijk. Konate has injury problems. Yes, Gomez is good. Kwanzaa's is the kid, right? That's 3. Van Dijk's always alongside one of them, and that makes that other player better. You leave it to Konate and Gomez as a pair, and it's so short of Van Dijk. So yes, you would have to go shopping straight away, but you're not shopping for someone that can come in and be integrated in the squad. If Van Dijk leaves, you are shopping for a captain, for a leader, for a number 1 centre-back. Now, they are very, very, very hard to find, and it's slim pickings. Like, yes, there's been talk in the Premier League of the likes of Sven Botman or Mark Gahey. They're nowhere near a Van Dijk caliber, right? Yes, the likes of Bastoni, we've seen links with Liverpool. Inter are not letting Bastoni go. It would be problematic. I think they would struggle to attract someone of that top tier caliber to replace Van Dijk. There's short. Like, there's very, very few obvious replacements for Van Dijk. You can look at Salah and go, there's a lot of wide footballers out there that can maybe do a job, right? Alongside maybe Luis Diaz playing a bit on the right-hand side. The current squad can maybe cope a little bit in Salah's absence. The current squad cannot cope with a Van Dijk absence at all, by any stretch, in any type of game. He is Mr. Liverpool. And he, in a way, in terms of immediate impact, if one of them was to leave and you're going, you approach the new season, 25-26 campaign, August comes round, and the first couple of months of the season, you say, who are you going to miss the most? Trent, Van Dijk or Salah? I've got absolutely no doubt in my mind Van Dijk is the one that's the biggest miss in terms of obvious impact on the pitch for those first few months of the Premier League season. You could probably get away with no Trent, and Bradley can fill in the gaps. Salah, you'd still get goals from elsewhere. Therefore, you'd probably cope. You miss Van Dijk and you could start losing games very, very quickly. And before you know it, you're not challenging for a league title anymore. Van Dijk would be the biggest miss. And again, where's Van Dijk going to go? Like, Salah Saudi feels like the world's worst kept secret. He's going to end up there. Well, Van Dijk will get suitors from all over Europe, right? Salah might not because of his age. Van Dijk's age won't matter. Italian clubs, for example, will look at Van Dijk at 34 and go, I can get a good few years from him. Can he go and join a Juventus or a Milan? PSG, of course, will be linked. MLS teams will want him. I'm sure Saudi clubs will want him too. But I could see him playing top flight, still Champions League. The Premier League clubs, of course, would want him, whether or not Liverpool, for his loyalties to Liverpool, he would do that. Let's see. But in summary, these 3 players, they're absolutely key cogs in this Liverpool machine. I'd go so far to say as they are Liverpool's 3 most important players. How are the 3 of them still up for winding? How are their contracts winding down in 2025? I don't quite know how it's got to this mess. Of course, Liverpool have tried getting them to sign new deals in the last 12 months, and it's not happened. Remember, player power is important with contract negotiations. As soon as that player gets to 18 months left on his contract, the momentum shifts between club being in power and player being in power. At the moment, with 6 months left, these 3 are in full player power. They can talk to other clubs. They can sign pre-contract negotiations with these clubs. And remember, the beauty of them signing or getting a new deal at a new club as a free transfer, you're getting much, much better salaries, much better terms, maybe even longer deals, and you could even get signing on fees. Signing on fees for loan deals hasn't really been a thing until more recently, with big names going on free transfers like Mbappe, and they get signing on fees. These three players have been advised, of course, by their agents not to sign new deals. They're in complete power to ask for more money at Liverpool, but to get more money elsewhere. I think we're going to see Trent go. I think we're going to see Van Dijk probably stay, and I think we're going to see Salah probably stay. But those two things are not guaranteed. Liverpool are losing one of the three as an absolute minimum. They could even lose two. I can't see a world in which they lose all three. But watch this space. It's going to be really interesting. If you've enjoyed this type of content, do hit that subscribe button, do hit the like button. But most importantly, drop a comment and let me know what you think. Because look, I'm known for doing FPL videos, but my real interest, like most FPL managers, is football first. And with that, if there's a demand for it, I'll make more of these types of videos. So guys, thank you for watching. Really enjoyed that discussion today. If you're a Liverpool fan out there and you're going, who's that guy? He's not even a Liverpool fan talking about my club. I can only apologise. I'm wearing a Real Madrid shirt. I'm not actually a Real Madrid fan. But there we go. Guys, thank you for all the love. And I'll see you for another video very, very soon. Appreciate you subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.